Hey guys, what is up? It is me, Pagey, here once again with another video on The Flash Season 7, and this is going to be my review for Episode 4 for this season, which is really the proper beginning to Season 7's story, and this is otherwise entitled Central City Strong. But of course, spoiler alert for what happens in the episode, because I'm going to be talking about all the big moments, so if you've not watched the episode, go away from me now and come back later, unless you want to be spoiled. Up to you. But of course, if you have watched the episode or you're just continuing because you want to be spoiled, be sure to let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions about this episode, everything like that. I'm very curious to hear what you guys have to say, any theories that lead on from it as well, because they potentially set up some stuff, but I don't know if it was just randomly name dropping stuff. It's hard to tell, but we'll discuss it. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts and theories down there. And of course, if you're going to enjoy the video, you enjoy this episode, you're looking forward to what's coming, want to drop a like on it, show support for the channel and everything like that. But of course, last episode was what was meant to be the finale for Season 6. It was definitely the weakest of the first 3 episodes of this season. But yeah, the main thing to remember is that Mirror Master's gone. There's going to be people from Central City still affected by it. But the cliffhanger was that we had all those different lightning colors, which are the different forces, or the new forces that were introduced in the comics not too long ago. That being the Speed, Sage, Still, and then there was also a Speed Force, bit of lightning there as well that shot out. So we're going to be seeing that play on over the next few episodes, introducing all that, and this episode starts it off in a pretty surprising way. But we start off the episode by seeing Iris getting back to her normal life, and Iris's story was really well contained in this episode and what it went through. I am very curious to see whether it goes forward or they wanted to deal with it all in this episode, and then other stuff with Iris starts happening afterwards. I'm not too sure how they're going to handle it. It could go either way, to be completely honest, but it feels like they sort of put a bow on it by the end of the episode. But yeah, she's getting back to normal life. Barry treating her and everything like that, as a good husband would do. But an earthquake happens, and we see those lightning colors in the sky from the end of last episode, which is setting things up for later. Now, I am curious, if there's an earthquake, does that mean someone gets struck with it? Or is the earthquake just the person that appears at the end of the episode, like jumping around? Like, I don't know if they'd cause a big earthquake. I'm not too sure. I guess we'll have to wait and find out. But Team Flash is taking part or place in the Central City Strong program. So that's the name of the episode, Central City Strong. And they're repairing Eva's damage, or Mirror Monarch, I think they were calling her. It was weird having Barry as the Flash on TV with his normal voice and like not really covering himself in any way outside just the Flash suit, like not blurring or even just changing his voice or anything like that. It was a bit weird. I guess like a really good person who can break it all down might be able to tell it's Barry, especially because he's not speaking normally. But anyway, it was cool to see the Flash speaking to the people of Central City in that way, because we don't really see it, and I would like more of that. It seems like, he's the superhero of the city. Why not do that more often? So I actually wouldn't mind seeing more of that. Now, Kaylin is suffering issues with and like outside of Frost, like headaches, etc. And the way, like, what happens at the end of the episode, I wasn't expecting. I was like, okay, where's this leading? But yeah, it caught me off guard what happens, but I was intrigued what they were setting up through all of that. I thought it was just going to be just something's wrong with her, but it leads somewhere where I wasn't expecting. Now, Central City Citizen is in like a financial hole because of Iris's absence. I think they said it was like around 75% down in financial revenue and everything like that, which we had brought up previously, like, towards in the back half of season 6, and I think a couple of weeks ago as well. And we're wondering if the show would actually acknowledge that, because they're an online thing. It's like, if with a YouTuber or any sort of blog thing, if you don't upload, you're gonna have like an absolute downturn because you're not posting anything. And I was wondering if they're going to acknowledge that, and they did, which was good. And Iris is just not herself, and we understand why that is and everything like that. And it's good that the show sort of puts Iris in the right frame of mind by the end of the episode, or at least pushes her towards that. But I was just happy that they sort of acknowledged that, because I was wondering if they were just going to sweep it under the carpet and pretend like it's a fairy tale, not very realistic. Now there's a murder at the Central City Strong repair site, and it's actually Abracadabra. We know that he was back. He's got his playing card shish kebab game on, and when he kills that dude, and he does shrink that shed into like this tiny obelisk, which we learn is tiny, obviously, but it's also heavy. It weighs 2 tons. There's some interesting stuff going on, and Team Flash is able to figure out that it's Abracadabra that's back. That's obviously the playing cards. It's sort of like it's quite a good sign. But we also learned that the events from season 3, when Abracadabra appeared the first time, happened the exact same way. There was no change in history due to crisis, which we were wondering. Did the Collectors Agency actually deal with him, or did he come back for another specific reason? No, it happened the same way. Now, one of the more interesting things which ties into the Iris part of this thing is the Mirrorverse Survivors Support Group, which is citizens of Central City dealing with their experience, dealing with their trauma, and just the aftermath of their time within the Mirrorverse and their, the significant loved ones as well, and what they went through potentially. Now, Iris is doing the opposite. She's withholding all of that. She's not like letting it all out or even trying to deal with it in any way, shape, or form, which is affecting her in multiple ways. And it's not like the main part. Like, it only takes up like a few scenes in this episode, some of them quick, but I think it was an important part of the episode to address, an important part of Iris's story. Like, this is arguably one of the, in regards to a single episode, is one of the probably bigger Iris character development episodes that the show's done in regards to just one single episode. So I thought what they did there was really, really good. Now, Team Flash versus Abracadabra the first time, it seemed a bit easy. Now Abracadabra name drops Mecha Vibe. I don't know if that's actually, it seems that that's from the future. That's his name, is Mecha Vibe, which, interesting, I guess. Frost also joins in to help out, but he does name drop Chronarch. Now, in the comics, Chronarch they rule the era that Abracadabra is from. Now, in the comics, Abracadabra sort of went against them because of the strict rules that they have within that era, and he's able to defeat them, but was also deemed a criminal and was banished to the past where the Flash is. Now, he mentions Chronarch as if it's a threat that the Flash is going to face. So I wonder if that's this season, I'm not too sure. We were wondering if he was going to name drop any specific things. He name dropped he name dropped DeVoe in season 3, which led into season 4. So it's weird that Chronarch would be a thing, but maybe it's just an episode sort of thing, or it plays into a larger storyline where they're not the main thing. We'll have to wait and see, but he name dropped it. Now, Argus do take Abracadabra, but he gets away. It's all part of the plan, I guess, complete with the obelisks. And Abracadabra creates this antimatter bomb to take out Central City. So it's almost like Crisis 1.5, but a Crisis coming back into it. And he does say he is a man who has nothing to lose, which I thought was going to tie into that Chronarch thing, but it actually leads into something else, which I was pretty interested in, which we'll talk about in a second. But of course, Barry is a bit annoyed because he's been tricked and played again by Abracadabra because he wanted to be taken into Argus. Plays into the whole Mirror Iris thing. I do wonder how Barry's journey over at least these next few episodes, especially with all this new threats that are going to come into it and how it affects him following the Mirror Master thing. I'm interested to see how they handle Barry, if there's actually any major development or effects there, but that's for us to wait and see because we won't know until a few episodes are done. Now, this is probably one of the most random things I wasn't expecting in this episode. So we find out that Abracadabra has the Martian Manhunter memory regaining ring. So we know that Martian Manhunter can give people those memories back from pre-crisis, but Cisco develops his ring that was introduced in Green Arrow and the Canaries, which does the same thing. It was used to give people their memories back, and it seemed like it was going to be a major plot point of that show if it ever got picked up. So he gets his pre-crisis memories back. Now, I wasn't expecting any sort of Green Arrow and the Canaries, Laurel Lance, Mia Smoke name drops, but that's what happened. But we do see Abracadabra's life from another timeline with a family and a happy life, everything like that, and he puts all the blame on the Flash. Now, it was interesting to see Abracadabra's story in this episode because I thought he was just going to come back and do some villainy. I mean, he killed some dudes, so what was going to do there? But he actually had a sort of a sad story, and all the Abracadabra stuff in this episode I thought was really, really good. Now, he does name drop, or not name drop, but he does drop a bit of an info bomb that the Flash becomes obsessed with the future as if it's going to be soon. So I do wonder if that's the back half of this season. That's the storyline there in regards to the future. Is there time travel, or is it for a future story, not a future storyline as in the future, but a later storyline in next season or something like that, where it's future focused. I love when they do that, but let's just wait and see what they do. Now, the Flash, talking down Abracadabra, not fighting and not punching him, just talking to him man to man, human to human. That's a great scene. Brilliant scene, actually. And the speech about facing trauma, with Abracadabra and everything like that, and even Barry himself, hits with Iris, as that is exactly what she needs to do. It's what she needs to do face on, and or face it head on, might I say. So I thought that was just a great scene in general. Arguably one of the better acting scenes one-on-one that the show's ever done. Now, another earthquake or shake time goes off, And we see a person that I'm assuming is affected by the strength force, which was the red lightning from the end of last episode. So the sage is the blue, the still is the green, and the strength is the red. They show up. Like, the CGI wasn't amazing, but it was okay for network TV. Like, it didn't really bother me. Like, it wasn't like that Legend of Tomorrow CGI from season 1. Like, it was okay. It didn't bother me too much. But they absorb the antimatter bomb as well as Flash's lightning, and they kill Abracadabra as well, or Philippe, as his name was. And I was like, oh, okay. He got absolutely yeeted. But, you know, he did his best to stop it as well. But yeah, this person's OP. This person's OP. It's a female. I'm not too sure if it's Fueza from the comics or it's just another person that was hit. And I do wonder when like the earthquake goes off, I think I was saying it earlier, if it's actually that's someone getting hit by lightning or something else. I guess we'll find out going forward. But the new forces are coming into play, and I can't wait to see what else they do with it. Now, we do have Iris going to like the Mirrorverse support group, deals what she went through. It was a great Iris scene, probably put in like your top 5 or top 10 Iris scenes in the entire show. It was really, really good to see them do that. Yeah, I do wonder if, did they say that Camilla's going to it as well? Because you think Camilla would go to it as well, and even like Captain Singh. I'm not too sure if they referenced that. Maybe they should go there as well. But I am curious to see if she returns to that or if that's just like a 1 episode thing. I'm sure there'll be elements over the next few episodes where there's still some grief and trauma to deal with, because she was in there for 3 months. Some of those people were probably in there for like a couple of hours or a day or something like that. This, like, Iris was in there for so much longer, and the people in that group react when she says 3 months. So I'm sure there's going to be more that Iris has to deal with. I guess it just matters when and like how big it is, you know, in regards to what she has to deal with. But we end the episode off by finding out that Cisco plays Fortnite and that Chester is better than him, so Cisco is a noob confirmed. Who would have thought? But anyway, the biggest, like, it's probably one of the more like, what? Like, and not like, oh my god, what? Like, freak out scene because of like comic book moment, but like, what? Like, sort of like comical confusion is when Caitlin and Frost, well, Caitlin shows up and is like, oh, we got an issue, and Frost walks in separately. They're different entities now. What the hell? Like, where's that leading? So, can they split on will? How did that happen? I'm sure we'll find out maybe next episode what happened and why they're split. I have no idea, but it caught me off guard, and I sort of started laughing out of confusion at it. I don't know what you guys thought of it, but it's interesting. I wonder what they're going to do with it, but at the same time, I'm still a bit confused. But yeah, overall, I thought this was actually a really solid start to the season, like the proper season 7 story. Like, Abracadabra was really good. Iris was really good in this episode. I have really no complaints. There was no part in the episode where I went, oh, let's get through this quickly, or that was bad. I enjoyed the hell out of this episode. Actually, the only thing you could really nitpick would be maybe the CGI on the Strength Force being, and I don't even know how long you're going to see that, because the Strength Force doesn't necessarily have to make you look like that. You can use it in different ways. So that's the only thing you could really nitpick, and I didn't even think it was like that bad. It was just, it was okay. Like, I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10 in regards to the CGI. So yeah, I enjoyed the hell out of this episode, and they set everything up going for, well, they tease the new forces and everything like that. So I can't wait to see where it goes. Let's look forward to it. But thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video and the episode. If you did, it'd be awesome if you could drop a like on it to show support. Let me know in the comment section down below your various opinions on all of this. Theories, thoughts, just let me know all your opinions, and just rate the episode if you want in the comments. Let me know. And of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure to subscribe. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Goodbye.